moving right along, Jane Bokunewicz, who is the faculty director of Light, and she's going to tell us what Light means at the Stockton School of Business right here. So let's welcome Jane. And okay. Jane has been very helpful with this event as well and helping us to bring the event to Stockton University. So tell us, what does Light mean?
Well,
Light in capital letters.
Yes, Light is the Lloyd D. Levinson Institute of Gaming, Hospitality, and Tourism. And it was started about 12 years ago, even before Stockton moved the campus into Atlantic City. But the vision of the benefactor who started the Institute was for it to be a think tank and to bring the industry leaders together with the university, and then we could leverage the resources of the university in support of the gaming, hospitality, and tourism industry, and leverage the industry to support our students and our work at the university. So that's how it all started. And we do have an advisory board of many, many leaders in Atlantic City. All of the casinos have executives on our advisory board. And we do research that supports the industry. So most recently, we did a labor summit where there's one really interesting thing about Atlantic City, where the unemployment rate is higher than any other communities in the state, yet there's thousands of jobs opened at any given time. So we did a research project to try to get to the bottom of why that was happening. So we first did a survey of the human resources directors at the casinos and at other non-casino hospitality organizations. And we did then a survey of the one-stop counselors, the job counselors who try to place unemployed people. And we found a few interesting things. There was a disconnect between what the counselors thought the industry wanted and what the industry leaders wanted. So we brought together a summit just like you're doing today, and we had identified some great things that we can work on, but some of them unfortunately are long-term. One of the things that came out of the summit was housing. There's not enough affordable housing, so that these entry-level jobs in the casino industry, it's hard for people to take those jobs because there's not affordable housing in the city. And so that was one thing that came up. Another thing that came up was people that are on public assistance, it's hard for them to go back to work because then they lose their child care, they lose their housing credits and things like that. So we identified some things we could work on and some things that are longer term, big picture.
So you mentioned there's a labor shortage of about 5,000 jobs in the casinos, in the hospitality, gaming, and tourism sector, right?
Yes.
5,000 jobs here in Atlantic City.
We're 5,000 jobs under where we were in 2019. I don't know if there's 5,000 jobs open because, as you know, they've done without the workers for so long. They've come to find ways to, with technology and things, to perhaps not need as many jobs. But in the summer and even throughout the year, when the summer workers leave, then the casinos are faced with all these openings because, the summer students and people that work there for the summer go back to work, teachers that go back to work. So there's always, at any given time, I would say 1,000 jobs open just in the casinos.
Wow. But nobody wants those jobs.
Well, I think Elizabeth made a comment or someone about the career paths. I had a wonderful career in the casino industry. I came down here right out of college, and I started as a computer programmer, but then I moved into so many different departments. I was the vice president at Tropicana for 12 years. I worked in the industry for 22 years. There are career paths, and we're trying to get our students that graduate from the hospitality program at Stockton to look at the casinos as a valid career path. So you may start in an entry-level job, but they have great training programs, and they work with us at Stockton to, help their workers move up into higher levels. Yeah,
and you have just initiated a new certificate for that kind of training, right? To help people move up to that VP level.
Yes, this is, again, one of the visions of our benefactor, Lloyd D. Levinson. We're putting together a lot of times in the casino industry, let's say you're a manager in food and beverage. To get to that next level, to get to that vice president's level, you have to learn a little bit about the other aspects of the business. So we're putting together, and it's launching in January. We have the support of the industry, where there's going to be industry experts teaching students, a cohort of students, 3 hours a week for 8 weeks on all of the different areas of the casino, because there's marketing, there's casino operations, there's slot operations, there's food and beverage operations, hotel operations. So if you're in one area, you might not have the skills of the other areas to be a vice president and have that big picture. And so I think it's going to be really successful. We already have all of the experts lined up that are going to teach the classes. They're very excited to teach the classes. And the casinos have committed to putting people into the classes.
Yeah, that sounds really good, that blend of the outside world with the educational system. So what is the health of the casino industry? This is one thing, you're studying this annually, right?
Yes.
What is the future of the casino industry in Atlantic City? Is it going to stay at this 9 level? Is it ever going to grow? Is it going to become more profitable? Just tell us.
Well, I think everyone would like to see it grow more than it has been, but the good news is before COVID hit in 2019, the industry was on a period of recovery. When COVID hit, of course, everything went down the drain. But the revenue and the profits are back on track with where we were in 2019. The biggest area of growth in the industry, however, is internet gaming. So I think everyone would like to see more growth in brick and mortar gaming. Brick and mortar gaming is back to a little bit higher than the level that it was in 2019, so it is growing, but I think everyone would like to see it grow a little faster.
Is Manhattan really going to have a casino?
Yeah, that's going to happen for sure, and that has the industry a little worried. But still, Atlantic City has so much to offer as a tourism destination with things that, and people from Manhattan want to come down here as an escape. So as long as the industry is diversifying itself, providing a lot more non-gaming attractions to bring people to the tourism industry here.
And you were comparing Las Vegas and Atlantic City. You said Las Vegas has done a good job of that diversification. This is something Atlantic City needs to do too.
Yes, Vegas has, for the past, I'd say 10 years or more, they make 70% of their revenue from non-gaming attractions, food and beverage, entertainment. Atlantic City for years had been the opposite. They were making 30% of their revenue from non-gaming, 70% from gaming. That's changing, and we're seeing a trend where the investments that the operators are making in the non-gaming attractions is starting to improve their revenue flow. So now it's more like 55-45, 55% from gaming, 45% from non-gaming. So I think that's a trend that's going to continue.
That's good. Would you ever go back to work at a casino?
I loved every day I worked in the industry,
did?
but I really do love my job now as a professor and as the director.
As a leader too, a leader of change.
Yeah, so I'm very happy, but I love the industry. I have nothing bad to say about it. I had a great career.
Okay, excellent. Thank you, Jane.